Hey, it's the Empire. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon for more videos. We taking over. Let's go, champ. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's go.
Well, does that mean Shawn Porter has a 154-pound run in him? Is that
Could be.
maybe against JERMELL CHARLO one day, the new king of the division?
Very possible.
Hey, it's the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Back to boxing. Now, man, my boy Shawn Porter, man, after he weighs in on this JERMELL CHARLO versus Rosario fight, a unification fight, man. You know, my boy Shawn Porter is asked by a reporter, will he go up to 154? And, you know, I showed you guys a thumbnail about the interview. And he says, you know, I'll go up there, man, because I think I'm a better fighter when I'm a little stronger. You know, if you didn't know, Shawn Porter, he drops weight to make 147. So he's draining himself to get to 147. He believes that the last 10 pounds he drops really affects his power. And he's able to do things at 154 or a higher weight class than 147 than he's not able to do at the current weight class, which is welterweight. Now, this is a really big deal, man. Shawn Porter weighed in yesterday, or like a couple days ago, about how he rated Jermell Charlo versus Derevyanchenko, and he thought that Jermell Charlo looked good in that fight, but he still sees some weaknesses that can be exploited by Boo Boo Andrade. Now he's talking about Jermell Charlo, the little lion, the little boy, you know, little bro, my boy Jermell. Now, this is a really big deal, man. I think Shawn Porter is a phenomenal fighter, and I do actually think that if Shawn Porter went up and he was actually stronger like he said, that it could give Jermell a lot of problems. Because one thing you can say about Shawn Porter that's true across the board is this guy has a chin. The guy can take a punch, you know, for sure. You know, he got hit a lot against a lot of elite level opponents, and he got dropped by a couple of them, but for the most part, he takes the punch pretty well. He recovers pretty well. After the 10 count, the guy's back to 100%. But I would love to see Shawn Porter fight a Jermell Charlo, and I think the best kind of fight for Shawn Porter would be an inside fight. You know, I think Jermell Charlo is actually probably most likely the better boxer than Shawn Porter, just because he moves really well and he sets his shots up too well. As far as Jermell Charlo likes to come in with combinations. That's what Jermell does. In the Rosario fight, he was boxing a lot in that fight, and he basically chose his shots of where he thought Jason Rosario would be weak at, right? Like in round one, right? He went all wild on the guy. It looked like it was wild, but I mean, it was a pre-thought out combination he thought would land in Rosario, and he's right. And that's why he dropped him, right? I think Shawn Porter, if it gets to the point where it comes out and they both start throwing combinations, I'm going to have to give Shawn Porter the edge if, you know, one doesn't get hurt. If it's just an exchange and they both get hit with normal punches, I'd pick Shawn Porter to come out on top of an exchange. But if someone hurts somebody, I would expect the bigger fighter in Jermell Charlo to do some damage. But with that being said, man, Jermell was throwing some wide haymakers in that fight when he fought Rosario. I mean, those shots were wide as it can be. Can't get much wider than that. Those are all KO shots, and I think Shawn Porter, believe it or not, is a little more compact with his shots. He's not the cleanest puncher, but I think he doesn't wind up as much as Jermell Charlo did, at least in his last performance. So I do think that Shawn Porter going up to 154, it adds a lot of intrigue in the whole division, because there's not too many fights that Jermell Charlo can really do outside of Teixeira, who's the WBO champion at 154. A lot of fighters that have outgrown welterweight or that could possibly go up to 154, this is a good time to do it because it's basically consolidated with all the titles. One person has all the titles. Now, I do think that Jermell Charlo, while he beat Rosario, I do think Rosario he shocked the boxing community out of nowhere by that stoppage with Julian Jarrett Williams. That was definitely supposed to be a homecoming fight. The guy knocked out in his backyard. And I think that once people knew he was a threat, they started taking him more seriously. And I do think if Rosario tried to fight a former undefeated champion, Jarrett Swift Hurd, I think he would get stopped in that fight. If Nathan Gilmore can walk him down and wear him down, I think that Julian Jarrett Williams is Nathan Gilmore 2.0. by far bar none. He was the original unified champion that started this whole hot potato belt with everyone, because no one could really hold the title. The only one who really defended the title a lot was my boy Jarrett Hurd. Now, I probably should make a video about that. I feel like once Hurd lost the title, being the unified champion, it lost legitimacy, because everyone was basically the unified champion, right? Ever since Hurd lost, there's been 2 more undefeated champions, or 2 more unified champions, which was my boy Julian J. Williams and Jason Rosario. So that being said, man, I do think if Rosario just fought some tough opposition, I think he will take somewhere else again. We will have to see. We have to see, but it does add legitimacy to the game when you defend the title more than once. And Jason Rosario, man, he just didn't defend the title enough to really consider him a unified champion, in my opinion. And with that being said, Shawn Porter, he's been champion many times at welterweight, right? He was the WBC champion, he was the IBF champion, and you know, he wants to be the unified champion at 154. And out of all fighters at 147, he's probably the biggest one, in my opinion. I do think other fighters are bigger as far as eating weight goes. Maybe they might walk around heavier, but Shawn Porter is built like a linebacker. He's built like a rock. You can tell that he definitely drains himself to make that weight. You know, he has that football build, and he fights like it, right? He's not afraid of getting hit. He's not afraid of coming forward, and he's all action all the time. So, man, yeah, man, I really would like Shawn Porter to go out to 154, and it'll be definitely a fight that most likely will outsell the Jason Rosario fight, just because people are familiar with my boy Shawn Porter. Not only that, when Shawn Porter fought Errol Spence Jr., that was his biggest pay-per-view. It sold more. That Errol Spence Jr. versus Shawn Porter fight sold more than a Danny Garcia Errol Spence Jr. fight. You know, so Shawn Porter is definitely a big name. He definitely has he just has notoriety in the boxing community and the boxing public. So yeah, man, I think that'd be a really good fight, and we're gonna see how this whole thing plays out, man. Shawn Porter couldn't be too impressed with JERMELL Charlo to think that he should go up in weight. If he is devastating as a knockout was with JERMELL Charlo, Shawn Porter sees weaknesses in JERMELL Charlo because he's talking about going up in weight. So yeah, it's gonna be a big deal. Let me know how you guys feel about it, though. I'll link it in the description. Like I said, I got the title in the video, and I'll have a link in the description. You guys can check it out yourself. Real interesting stuff from Shawn Porter. Let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Peace.